Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Cone Dodger here. Welcome back to Formula One 2019 as we continue our career with Alfa Romeo. I am currently in 10th place in points, which I'm pretty darn happy with. I don't have a lot of regrets as to how the season has gone so far. As a team, we are sitting in 7th, and all this kind of seems right up in the alley of where we should be. Our teammate, Kimi Räikkönen, is in 14th place, has had a lot of pace, but not a lot of good finishes. So hopefully Kimi can get some good finishes in there and help us move up in the points. Our car development is a good thing to look at on these practice and qualifying videos, so let's go ahead and do that. So here is the progress history for our team so far. You can see we actually started just behind Toro Rosso, and as the season has progressed, we have actually moved ahead of Toro Rosso as well as Renault, and we are currently tied with Racing Point. Very close midfield battle here, and this is pretty representative of our actual 2019 season. But yeah, nice close battle from Toro Rosso up to Haas, who have taken slot number 4. Keep in mind, this is a fictional career, and the upgrades to the teams are random, so you just never know which team may move up, which team may move down, and I do enjoy that part of these games. I think that's part of the fun. And if you look up at the top of the ladder, you can see that Red Bull and Ferrari are moving up close to Mercedes. So a lot of moving and shaking going on there. But let us now go over to the R&D tree and spend ourselves 1,000 resource points, which isn't a great haul, but it's enough. We definitely want to focus on the chassis development of the car. I feel like the car drives like a little bit of a pig. It feels a little overweight, and it feels like it needs a little bit of refinement there. So I'm going to do everything I can to develop the chassis as much as possible. For now, we can only do one upgrade to the chassis. Yeah, it is behind the tree here. So everything that we could possibly develop, that's not true. That is not true. So I could do twin chassis upgrades. I had considered this. I had not considered this to be an option. I have enough points to do it. One is weight redistribution, and the other is a weight reduction. I do still very strongly feel like our chassis is more behind than anything, but we're also not too great in the aero department. And if you look at the ladder here, we're actually second to last in aero, so I do feel like it'd be a little silly to put all of our eggs in the chassis basket. So let's go ahead and do a rear wing upper flap research as well. And both of these, assuming they work, will be ready for France. And France is a track that you really need good aero, and you really need a nice balanced chassis, so I think this is all a good direction to be headed. Hopefully both of those do get added to the car, and that should put us in better shape in the midfield here. Alright, here we go, everybody. We are in practice in France. France at the Circuit Paul Ricard. I don't know why I'm speaking like this, but it's just happening. Paul Ricard is an interesting track. It's one that I really struggled with early, but I've kind of learned to quite like. It is one that typically demands a really pliable suspension. You want a car that feels like it's got some good ability to bite and be tossed around. I'm using a different baseline setup this week, and I don't like the idea of running too little camber, although you don't want a lot of camber here. You don't want it to be wearing the tires out significantly. I am going with a really soft suspension to start, but some tight ARBs, so kind of letting the suspension have play, but not letting it roll over too much. We want to be utilizing, both front tires, especially in the turns. I did go for a lower ride height. It's been recommended. That is something I should be trying to do. So let's give that a try, and let's head out for
we'll alter the setup of the car.
Track acclimatization. I'm going to go out here on a hard tire, because I do feel like this is a tire we will use here. Tire wear is pretty high around this track, and with these 50% races, it seems like there's really a lot of benefit in doing long tire runs. Alright, so this is fresh in practice 1. The track's going to be not fantastic shape. That is one thing to consider. And it's one thing I've had to consider about not overdoing it on adjusting the setup. The car changes a lot from practice 1 to practice 3. Alright, we got the new pit lane here. Exit. I did see... Oh, missed that one. I saw it, I think, in a patch note that they updated the pit lane exit to reflect the upgrades that they made in real life. That was always one of my biggest gripes about the place, was that the pit entering and exit were kind of appalling for a modern F1 track. Kind of feeling my way around right now. Missing some of those gates. This is always a difficult one to hit. The chicane on the back straightaway. Brake right about the 100. Seems like I am, ooh, missed that gate. Seems like I'm actually struggling for a little bit of rear grip. We are on the hard tire. So not too much to worry about there. Okay, that feels like it's going to be flat. This is my favorite turn on the track, where you let it float out wide, you get to the apex, and you just try to pin it out of there. And then this, one of the hardest turns on the track, that decreasing radius. This whole last sector, honestly, is, I think, one of the most difficult sectors in all of Formula One. At least to get it right. So we got to pick up a lot of points if we're going to get a perfect score here, and there's lots of time on the table. That was green. Didn't have to lift quite so much right there. Hard on the brakes right here. Gotta find the right gears. I was revving it out too much. Boy, those hard tires are pretty tricky. We're doing a little bit better so far. Let's try and keep that purple streak going. Dang it, too slow. And then, like I said, kind of struggling for grip out of the turns. Might need to make some adjustment there. Oh, very easily full throttle through that. Yeah, definitely struggling for grip out of the turns, I think. And it feels like a chassis thing. It doesn't feel like an aero thing. Too many greens. Not going to be a perfect score. And I don't really like to extend this one beyond 2 laps. Well, we were darn close. I'm going to let this car go. And yeah, I think I'm going to do probably some changes to the setup, try and get a little bit more bite out of the turns. But overall, I don't feel too bad about it. Alright, we're into the race strategy program here, and the car does feel a lot better on the medium tire. Can't really tell if those changes did much of anything, because the medium tire is just so much more comfortable to be on. So far we did 1 lap at pace. See if we can follow that up and see how the car is doing lap after lap as well. If it's good for 1 lap, that's one thing, but if it falls off too hard after a lap, then they gotta make changes. Kind of flirting with the time right now, but the car is definitely set up for top speed. I feel like I've gotten it pretty trimmed back aero-wise to try and have good runs down these very fast straightaways. Could definitely stand to gain a little time through there. We're about half a second up right now, so that's looking pretty good. Figure out where I'm driving the car into there. You gotta watch that blue paint. It is slippery. Or it's supposed to be anyway. I mean, I really don't list this as one of my favorite tracks, but like I said, it was one that I really didn't like at first, but I've really come around to be okay with it. Like, I at least feel pretty competent at driving here now. Most of the stuff that I have problems with is the sea of asphalt visuals. But that's just part of modern Formula One, and I need to just shut up and deal with it. As most of us do. Little divide there. Formula One is its own ecosystem. It has its own kind of just lifestyle around it, its own rules and habits that you just kind of have to adapt to. Including how cruel it is. Currently, in the real world, time of this video, it's the F1 2019 break, summer break, and big news is that Pierre Gasly's been booted out of the seat at Red Bull to make room for Alexander Albon. Not who I would have figured. I figured they would have put Kvyat back in that seat for that sweet, delicious irony. As he himself got booted out of a Red Bull seat at one point. But no, it'll be Albon into that seat. That's to me, that's just part of Formula One. Oh, I'm about to mess this lap up. Sure did. That's a shame. I'm out of energy, too. Maybe I'm gonna get booted. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do 2 more laps of this program now. Seems like I was stretching the energy load out a little bit too much there anyway. Alright, well, this is going to be longer than usual, so I'll probably skip showing you guys the qualifying program. Trying to keep these videos kind of just short enough to remain interesting. I know the practice and qualifying stuff not as intense or interesting as the race, but I do feel like it's important to share it with you. And it gives me an opportunity to kind of share some of my thoughts on the stuff going on in the world of F1. Yeah, I'm not particularly upset about it. I'm not even particularly a Red Bull fan. But it is quite interesting. And I look forward to seeing how it, plays out. That's just part of what makes Formula One different than any other form of motorsport you could watch. I just can't think of any other form of motorsport that's quite that competitive. It's not unheard of to hear of drivers losing seats mid-season in NASCAR, but it just doesn't quite seem like such a big deal. Probably because, there's 40 cars you could be in at any given time. There's not usually 40 of the best drivers in NASCAR in the field at any given time. Even though, that stuff happens, good drivers lose their seats, there's usually options for you out there. Formula One, it's just a different level of intensity there. How many drivers have worked their way up the ladder to make it to Formula One and, had one bad season, and that's the end of their career? They never drove a Formula One car again. They went on to do other things. They went on to, win Le Mans, for example. But Formula One, nope. They got their one ticket in, and that was it. It certainly just makes Formula One seem, special. That it's that competitive just to keep your ride. So even though I'm a bit of a softie when it comes to things like this. I don't want to see people, you know, I don't want to see people get physically hurt, obviously, but I don't want to see people get, like, mentally hurt either. You know, it's sometimes really hard to see somebody put their whole lives into this and then get cut out of it before they even got to make it. There you go. Yeah, they got to try. But I don't think it would be Formula One if it wasn't that way. There we go. We had to do all 5 laps, but we did get the optimal result there.
Before you run out of fuel, pit within 2 laps.
Will do. Will do. Alright, well that should give us plenty of information on pace for the race also. We'll know all about the tire wear, and these mediums did hold up very well over the little run here. So that might mean we don't have to use the hards. I would be very happy about that. Alright, I'll go doing the qualifying program on my own, and I'll rejoin you for Q1.
The circuit is rubbing in with practice, but this is still a difficult session as our drivers fight for pole position. Welcome to qualifying for the French Grand Prix.
Alright, as he said, the track is in much better shape now qualifying than it would have been in practice, and hopefully that is good for us, because I really didn't have a lot of qualifying pace in practice. Looked really good for race pace, but qualifying pace struggled to even turn a prospective qualifying time of 15th. It is drizzling out. It is not quite raining, and we need to turn a lap as soon as possible, just in case the track is going to go wet on us. But it is only drizzling. It's not usually a good sign for us, though. Changing weather conditions are not usually my strong suit, but a lot of cars have not come out on track yet, so hopefully it's a good thing that we are out here before the track has been lost. And if it dries up later, it dries up later. We can do more laps, but I just want to make sure we get a time in now, just in case the track gets worse. I just don't know. I don't really know what to expect from it. It felt pretty slippery right there, but it's still putting down the power pretty well. Rest. Following this Haas, trying to judge my pace off of that. It's not impossible. It could be just drizzly and rainy like it is the whole session. Five-tenths down on signs right there. That's not the best of information to get. A little wet right there as well. Feels like if it's going to continue to rain at this pace, though, the track's just going to get worse. It's not going to improve. Makes me wish I had gotten out on track even sooner. Considering the conditions, not a terrible lap. 1.6 down. It's all going to depend on if the track is improving, getting worse, or staying the same. I'm going to continue on this lap until I see a trend. If I can tell that it's getting worse, or if I can tell that it's getting better. Certainly feels worse down here. Look at the time. No, yeah, there's noticeably less grip down here now.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
It's twitchy, it's not happy. So we may squeak in based on getting a lap in before the rain really hit. I'm just worried that the AI haven't been affected by the rain like I have been, so nothing is set in stone. Could be some weird running order here if cars didn't get a lap in the dry, though. Certainly do wish I had gotten a lap in before the rain. It's wet out here. Looking at the weather, there's 10 minutes until it stops raining. So, oh, I forgot about the alarms here. So as of now, we look pretty smart. And a lot of these cars look really stupid. But if it doesn't dry within 10, well, if it doesn't dry within 8 minutes, then we are pretty much golden. But if it does dry right at the end, then we're gonna have to fight for our lives. And you can see the times getting run right now are no good. So I'm gonna play this out until like 4 minutes remaining. For safety's sake, I think we should do it. What if it's too dry now and times fall? Let's see if we have enough time to do another lap on another set of tires. I really wouldn't ideally do this, but I don't want to be screwed by RNG saying, hey, every car on track just ran, you know, the fastest times of the day. 12 seconds, we didn't have enough time, the track's too big. Well, we may be knocked out in Q1. Butler just turned to 34, yep, it's gonna happen. We just got knocked out. 16th! Are you kidding me? Really? Oh, no. No. Oh, RNG, why? Ugh.
Race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel, and Raikkonen, Grosjean, Sainz, Stroll, and Nico Hülkenberg, Butler, Magnussen, Lando Norris, and Albon, Weber, Red, Sergio Perez, and Daniel Ricciardo. Gasly and George Russell ends our grid lineup, and now it's time to head down to the track.
We need to be doing better than this. Let's push hard.
Not cool. Not cool, game. Oh, it's one of these again. Oh, no. Oh, this time in France. Heavy rain to begin the race. And then apparently by the end, light rain. But that might be a session forecast. So it might be heavy rain for the entire duration. Here's the thing. I went for a pretty dry weather setup here, so that is not looking great. The forecast for the weekend didn't really call. It was like maybe a little bit of rain in qualifying, maybe a little bit of rain in the race. This I did not expect. Okay, the lowest of RPM here probably. Good launch, but where do we go with it? Still not down on the power yet. And then bollards are going flying. I touched the back of Albon, but I can't see anything. I'm totally blind to the track. I think I'm on the curb. Parking lot over here. Apparently I've made up positions. I couldn't tell you where. I couldn't tell you where I was. All right, here we go. We're out of the mist a little bit, because I just could not see anything through there. Back at it now. This is insane. This is the kind of rain that when I come across it on the highway, because this kind of stuff happens in Florida all the time, I just pull over. I just get out of the way. Oh, we're in the slippery stuff. Got him back. I can see so little. I'm basically just following that red light in front of me. That's the only bearings I have of where the track is. Kind of nudged him out of the way there. Jeez, this is insane. Bit of a dry lane forming. I don't want to say drier lane. A bit of a groove forming. How about that? Interestingly, it's not really corner exit that I'm struggling with so much as corner entry. He says, spinning out on corner exit. Taking it pretty easy. I'd like to get back up to these three in front of me, but I also don't want to be back in the mist. The mist was not very fun. Okay, so it can't hold wide open throttle there. Got it. I'm glad to hear a lot of people agree with me that it's kind of disappointing that the AI just drive in perfect, you know, slow lines around the track. They never go wide. You never see their car flick around or anything like that. They don't look like they're driving in the rain. They just look like they're driving at a reduced pace. Trying to take advantage of some of that though, because they also don't take any risks. They don't try to take a different line to get some pace. Boy, I got dark right there. K-Mag feels like he's holding this little group up a bit, huh?
Green flag.
Well, I say that, but there was a yellow flag. Maybe something did happen. The flag's still flashing. Danny Rick is out. I think he was behind us, though. Yikes. You know this is just gonna look awful on YouTube too. With the bitrate, like it looks bad for me, but it probably looks a million times worse for you. Is that thunder I'm hearing? What am I hearing there? Am I getting hit from behind? Oh, I couldn't see the end of the track. Boy, the biggest shame is that it's Magnussen holding this whole group up. And he's in 11th, so it's like we're getting held up and we're nowhere near the points paying position.
I definitely think we need to stay on this tyre a bit longer.
You
But
think?
there's no question that the track is drying. We might be in a position to change soon.
What? I can't see the nose of my car, Jeff. I've literally never seen it rain this hard in an F1 game before. And you think it's time to change tires? Maybe he's just giving us a clue that the rain's gonna let up soon. Like the rears are at 60 degrees because it's so wet. We're not terribly far behind that next group, but it's a pretty good ways. Nobody's making any passes or moves. We're just all in a parade right now. A rainy, sad parade. Fastest lap. Maybe the track is drying up. It's just so hard to tell in the mist. Why does it get so dark right there? A pass was made. A pass was made, everybody.
Stay a while. Doesn't look like it's moving anytime soon.
Rain's here to stay, it sounds like. Doing okay. We are doing okay. Certainly not ideal. I feel pretty good in the braking zones. Knowing that they all use traction control and ABS, there are advantages for me in that I'm not. Means I can possibly, if I play my cards right, it's riskier, but I have the potential to get a little bit more braking into the turns and a little bit more power down out. It's also very easy to run under the back of someone, though. Sorry, Norris. Go the other way. I'm gonna lean for a bit. Why is it you get so much worse miles per gallon? Miles per gallon. So much worse fuel mileage in the rain. Is it the friction? Like there's so much drag because of the water? You're pushing through the water on the track and the air is thicker. Is that why? I thought it would be, you know, you get way better mileage because you're so off the throttle, but it doesn't seem to be the case. We're good. All right, you two. Really? Ah, is that how it's gonna be? Get out of here. The visibility is so insane. This is where I made my last move.
Update on the car for you. Tires are looking very nice. right. Shouldn't have to worry about the wear too much right now.
Same move. Boy, he is, he's just gonna run it into the turn whenever he can. Didn't help. All right, we're only one car away from having no spray. Oh man, can't take it.
Power from the engine is going to be down slightly and showing some minor wear.
That's probably good. In these conditions, I don't mind a bit. I'm running on lean and I haven't even noticed. Could you go ahead and deactivate a cylinder for me or something? Oh, this is my struggle turn right there. Luckily, I've been getting out of there well, though. Sector 1 is where we've been making time and moves. Getting those mirrors a little too hot. I don't know if they model puddling and whatnot, if I could like pull offline on the straightaway and cool tires. I kind of doubt it. That is something you would do in real life. He sent it, but it didn't stick. He sent that postcard without a stamp. Feels like this is probably my other passing opportunity. If I can get it to stick around the outside. Magnussen is not an easy pass, I'm learning.
Kimi is in for his stop.
I wonder if they changed his tire strategy. That seems super early. Illegal time gain? For going off course? And losing a spot? Really? I think you guys need to learn how a watch works. Oh, hello, Vettel. I'd like to know what tire you're on. Did you go to inners? I'll never know. Oh yeah, he's on inners. What a wild man. We've gotten no such call.
The circuit's definitely looking better than it was a few minutes ago. If we just move a bit more of that standing water, we might be able to get onto the intermediates.
Okay.
Check your MFD for
Ah,
a
there it is.
strategy option. Copy that.
I mean, I've definitely been noticing the tires are getting warm. Oh no. I've just come up with a terrible realization that I never attempted to get onto pit road here in practice, and I don't know the layout of the new entry. I guess I gotta hope one of these two in front of me is also pitting, so that I know how to get to pit road. I certainly can't see pit road.
Weather should improve in 10 minutes time. Light rain in 10 minutes.
Light rain, 10 minutes. Okay, they went. Good thing. Alright, crew, I need a really good stop here. Can't believe that warning for gaining time while losing time. In the rain, no less. Pouring down rain.
Go, exit now. We're racing on the
Oh, we
exit.
got
Go,
Butler, I
go
think.
now.
I think we got Butler.
We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
Seems to have not worked out well for us. The penalties of being the number 2 driver. They would have suggested that a lap earlier. We were number 1 on the team. Ah, we're in the wall too. Damn it. Damn it. Damn. I'm telling you, this has just been brutal, guys. The game has not been very kind to us. 3 rain races in a row? Really? Pretty wild. Well, the good news is we're finally out of the mist. I don't know if we were ready for these tires, though. I wasn't ready for them. It could have easily been a DNF right there. I don't think it's gonna matter. I kind of highly doubt we were gonna pass anything other than the Williams. Maybe. Too bad. Another one that I feel like I had a really good car here. I felt like I had a chance. Rain screwed us in qualifying, and then a miserable race. For those wondering, no, I can't disable the rain at this point. We're stuck with it. Just gotta hope that we're getting it all out of the way ASAP. Let me do a little save in here. Still a heck of a gaggle of cars ahead of us, though, so we could potentially get back to that gaggle and hope that we could, like, try and slide the thing onto slicks earlier than everybody else. It's light rain now. According to the forecast, it should dry by the end. It's hard to go it alone out here, though. It's hard to know what my pace should be. 6 seconds to Russell. Oof. Big click, a big push out of the steering wheel, like I popped the steering wheel loose on its bolts. That's how death grippy of a time I'm having. Let's just go ahead and assume that it's going to dry out at some point and we're going to be going to slicks. We'd probably go to mediums. Five to Russell, yeah, we're definitely closing there. 48 from Bottas. Now everyone just turned a fast lap. The track's definitely getting drier. Oh yeah, you can feel it. I can feel it. We're definitely closing on cars that are still running together. $48.5 for us. That's pretty good. It's gonna be one of those ones that kills my right leg. Being on and off the throttle, tippy-toeing it. Whole race. Green. Definitely pitching Russell in a hurry. It's gonna be a matter of what can we do when we get there. This whole segment of races with the rain, it's gonna kill our contract negotiation for the next time. Team is just not going to be pleased with us at all. And I think that might be after this race. Raining, so I don't know that we're gonna get dry before these inners run up. I would definitely try to push them as far as I could though, rather than trying to put another set of inners on. It'd be the only chance we have of a decent finish today. You all saw how hard it was to pass those two cars early in the race. It's not going to be any easier now.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Okay.
Understood, copy that.
And they do think the track is going to dry up.
Magnussen, they have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Yeah, it's the driver. Slippery out there. Boy, it is hard to pass here. They think 18 is when it's gonna go slicks. If I see it's questionably gonna be earlier than that, I will definitely duck on pit road. We are nowhere near Kimmy, so I have no reason to not pit on the same lap as him. There's the wounded K-Mag. Wounded, but still taking up the whole track. Thanks. Appreciate it.
It looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
Back to dry shortly. It's lap 15. I will definitely box early if I can. I can't actually tell them that I'm going to, but at least they're set up to the right tires already. Oh yeah. It's not going to be this lap, I don't think.
I think we're still on the right tyres for the time being.
Yeah, it's pretty darn wet still. And there's still rain falling over here. So definitely not this lap, I don't think. I want to take a risk, but I don't want to just crash for no reason. It's got to be a risk that has reason. We're freaking out of fuel again.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Missed turn one. In the mist. Missed turn one. There's still rain falling. But I see the sun's coming out. So tricky to know when to go. And you can see how much spray is still getting kicked up by the cars too. Could be hell on slicks. As much as I was hoping it would be, I don't think it's going to be this lap either. Excuse me, pardon me? No, not this lap. It might actually be 18. Going for it. Thought we might make that a double. Well, we've certainly passed the most cars out of the field today, I would say. Pinch him down into the wet. All right, now we really know how dry it is. This lap feels too early, though. Still getting drops. Is it? Let me look at the tire temps. Car's the pit road. I'm going this time. And hope that cars in front don't. Yeah, there's Kimmy in the pits.
Kimmy is in the pits. Kimmy in the pits.
That'd be an interesting TV show. Kimmy in the pits. Meh. You know, there's cars on pit road. Okay, when I said I know where pit road is now, I really don't. Pretty sure I just got a warning there. Could get a time penalty. Don't know. Do not know. No, let's keep downforce the same. It's still gonna be pretty slippery out here. A lot of cars not pitting. It's good news for us. If these tires actually come up and work. Oh no, Weber went for more intermediates.
Exit now.
I am the only car on slicks. Everybody pit again for more inners, I think. Oh lord. Alright. Test of
Okay, stay clear of the white line on
Test
the
of
exit.
bravado
You'll
here.
receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you
Here we
cross
go,
over to the
everybody.
track.
Oh shit. Why would they pit for more inners though? Why would they do that unless they were like dead? Alright, where's that super fast changing track we had in qualifying where it stopped raining and instantly went dry? Who likes ice skating? Look, you gotta try. There's no point in not trying. Our race was already ruined. I only have to not lose like 12 seconds. And this will have made sense. It's coming to life. It's coming up to the temperature now. Especially if you drift it. Get some heat in those tires. Pretty sure we lost 12 seconds already. That's where it's killing me. It's the slow turns. With no downforce. Dry, track, dry! The sun's out for crying out loud. Now remember, this was the team order. I pit a lap early, but they were saying this lap we were going to be on slicks either way. Magnussen's car kind of finally gave out. One more spot.
Yellow flag. Caution, caution, yellow flags ahead. No overtaking through the caution zone. Be careful until you see the
A
greens.
safety car would have been frickin' amazing right there.
Okay, clear.
Actually, probably not. We probably aren't close enough for it to have mattered. 23 seconds to Russell, yeah, we're pretty much screwed at this point. Twas the wrong call. Alright, I've seen enough rain races. We had our fun. If we could have dry races for the rest of the season, I'd be perfectly happy with that. 15 seconds slower a lap. That's pretty wild.
Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the softs.
I'm sorry, what? You on drugs? I think you're on drugs. This track is just not drying. Why is it not drying? It literally stopped raining for 1 minute in qualifying, and the track dropped 10 seconds in time. Why is it getting worse? I don't understand why it's getting worse. Tires are at fine temperatures. It's not like they're too hot. It's not like they're too cold. It just...
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
You think? Back to inners. Oh, God. Screw you.
Okay, copy that.
No, the track is definitely getting worse. But it's not raining. I don't understand. I don't understand. And like, how long has it not been raining now? It's been ages. The sun's poking through the clouds. About to get lapped. Every time I have races like this and I post it, people are like, I'm glad you post races like this because it shows the highs and the lows. I don't know. I don't know that it's true. As I watch the numbers tumble. Oh, this is actually hurting my brain. I just don't understand. I just can't seem to follow what the wet weather logic is in the game. I just don't seem to understand
Flag, blue flag.
how they model the wet track or not. I missed it in qualifying, obviously, where it went dry. And now in the race, it refused to go dry. Despite there being blue sky up above us there. I'm trying to get out of the way.
Blue flag conditions.
I am on
Create a
ice.
gap and let the car behind through. A new strategy is available on the MFD.
They really want me to go back. I swear the game has forgotten that it stopped raining or something. It's the only logical explanation. I just want to see this out. I want to see how long it takes for the track to quote-unquote dry. I realize it was a monsoon, like it's heavy rain, but these tires are so good at clearing water that if it was dry for more than 2 or 3 laps, the dry line would just destroy inners. And what makes me think that something messed up is that the game, the crew suggested I go to slicks. Like they were like, no, yeah, this is gonna be time for slicks.
Pit window open. Let's box this lap.
What, do you want to put more softs on it? I don't mean to be whiny. I'm just confused. I just don't understand what's transpired in this race. I mean, luckily I screwed it up before anything else happened, so there was never going to be a good result in the race. But when he should have been, you know, up there in 15th or so.
check your MFD for a new strategy option.
My teammate's lapping me.
Blue flag, blue
My
flag.
teammate is lapping me. What an embarrassment. It is improving. The track is definitely
Now, please. Box this lap.
improving. I just can't believe that it took so long to improve. Considering how much of a dry lane there was, I can't actually even see water on the track anymore. Like, I don't see a dry lane. I just see a lane. Yeah, it just ticked over right now. Yep, for sure.
Okay,
Yep.
the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
That's wild. That is so wild. And still not very good.
Fuel target is +1. Faster engine modes are available.
Today I learned you lose your lap delta coloring if you go a lap down. What's crazy is that I'm not actually running down
There's
Timmy
5
here
laps
very
of
much.
fuel remaining.
Gee, a purple sector. How could that happen? How could it be? I think that's probably the biggest problem, is that it doesn't seem like it's a gradient. You know, it doesn't go from, oh, it's wet. Oh, it's drying, drying, drying. It's, oh, it's wet. Oh, now it's less wet. Oh, now it's completely dry. Those are the only 3 states of track, it seems.
Kimi is in for his stop.
Fastest lap of the day! I did it, everybody. I'm the best. I am the best. I'm still gonna get lapped. Now they're on new tires. And they're faster than me, of course. Go, car, go! You have to go faster than this.
Blue flag.
No! I don't wanna. Oh, this is now the heartbreaking part, is that this car was so good in the dry here.
We're not racing the car behind.
I'm
Let them
aware.
past when you can.
I could not be trying any harder to let him by. Come on! I don't see anybody ahead of us now.
Word on the tyres, they look okay for now, but we can see the wear. If you can't feel it already, early, then you'll certainly start too soon. Just be careful.
It don't matter, Jeff. It just don't matter.
Blue flag, blue flag.
Go ahead. Boy, they are real bad at passing. They just they lift and try not to pass you. The good news is I have to do one less lap. So that's nice. Wonder if I should make this another 2 for a weekend. This was pretty appalling of a race.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left. Blue flag conditions. Create a gap and let the car behind through.
So the last lap. Yeah, I probably should. You guys have been so good to me. The noble few that stick through. I feel like I owe you 2 for this one. Not that it was any... I really don't... Other than the spin. Like, the spin was my fault. I got a little too excited on the curve there, and I spun the car. That happened. But the race was still good after that. I was still having fun after that. The going to slicks and taking a half hour for the track to dry, though, that didn't feel too good. That was not a good time.
Blue flag.
Go for it, my dude. That's how bad they are at passing. Like, he kept lifting. I'm way offline. Like, couldn't be any more offline. And it's just like, oh no, I don't think so. It's like they've lost all logic for how to drive off the racing line. I don't remember them being that bad before.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Well, I hope we can do better than that at the next race. Not our best day by any means.
Yeah, seriously.
Here's our winner.
Maybe you should just fire me, Jeff.
Ferrari into Parc Ferme. What a fantastic race it
Those
was.
glasses.
Talk to me. Looking at
Don't
the
talk to me.
podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class
Wait, isn't this the
win
race he was
for a
supposed to win but
world-class
lost?
team. Ferrari do it again.
I think so.
So, let's review the driver's standings.
Well, Kimi had a good day.
Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I'll
Passes
probably
me
go
in
for
points.
Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo, whose good result moves them further up the championship. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Yeah. Well, I've got still learning to do apparently on what to do with these rain races. Honestly, if I hadn't spun, I would have stuck to the regular strategy. I would have gone inners again. I would have done exactly what Kimi did. It was the spin that ended up costing me any chance of having a normal race. But I was really racing my heart out. I felt like I was making a lot of good moves in the wet. It's the changing conditions that are so confusing. I just can't seem to get a grip on what the track's going to do. Let's see if the spin's in this. You would think it would be. Man, I passed so many cars in the rain. Felt really good. And got passed by a few here and there. I definitely still feel very strongly about they've got to change the AI behavior when it comes to rain. They're just so boring. There it goes. Oh, that's right through the sign. That's. Let me go back to that one. Look, I mean, it was just. It lost it way before the. I thought it lost it on the curb, but no, it just never stuck. Once it was here, I really had no chance of saving it. Boy, we hit that wall pretty hard. Oh man. And then the rest of the race was kind of a. I mean, I had some good moves when we went to inners, and you know, was making my way through. But once we went to slicks, it was over. Well, another heartbreak. Please no interview. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Good. Good. Oh no. Butler's got me. No! Please. Bring us back the dry. Well, we got our 500 points there. Team rating actually went up. And like I figured, there is a contract negotiation up. Alright, well, like I said, we'll probably make this another 2 for a weekend. Man, disappointed.